Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about O Network's reality-based TV series, Put a Ring on It, Season 3, Episode number 9.
But before we get into that, we'd like to ask you to subscribe, like, and share, and press that like button. Today we're going to focus on Sharlana and Otis.
Yeah, apparently they have some things to work out for sure.
Well,
the episode starts with Charlie declining a third date, or second date rather, with Chris, correct?
right. And Charlie said the reason why she declined the date is that she believes that Chris has ulterior motives, meaning that he asked her what he can do to take her away from Otis. And she clearly does not like that, so she decided that her time will be best spent investing in her relationship with Otis than going out with Chris.
I think it was a bad move on his part because it makes his intentions, just blatantly obvious to her that this guy means no good.
Well, yeah, among other things.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that he just, I guess it's good in a sense that he's direct, but it doesn't rep him well.
I have a question mark and about Chris, so I appreciate that she did not go out with Chris again, but Otis, being Otis, he said something foul. He said to her that perhaps Chris thinks that she's a weak woman, that he can take her away from him.
Yeah, that's when Shay piped in and said, I don't agree. And then Shorty piped in and said, hey, look, what it seems like to me is happening is Otis is projecting.
Right, because Charlie clearly felt insulted, so that's why the group, Shay and Shorty, intervened in the conversation. But Dr. Nicole said the group dynamic is fine, but you guys got to figure out how you speak to each other when you're together on a personal level. And one of the tools that you can use is what I believe you said was,
what
I heard you say was, and then you repeat what you think the person said, and if it's correct, you move forward. If it's not, the person will fill in those blanks that you did not cover.
Yeah.
That's a healthy way to approach communicating clearly with one another. You can do that, or you can decide to just fight to the death, and these two people fight in a toxic way.
Yeah, they argue way too much, and I think it's exhausting for not only her but also for him as well.
And for us looking at them.
Absolutely.
I'm exhausted.
Absolutely. So I can understand it from all sides, I guess, in terms of being an exhausting exercise,
So Dr. Nicole gave them an assignment. She said that they should go home and write down the things that they want from each other.
And need
from each other.
And then they should read them.
Should write it down and then share it with each other, but not in an accusatory way.
Right, but that even went south, didn't it?
Oh my God.
I don't understand why, but it did.
Charlie went into, hey, we need to spend more quality time with each other. Otis seemed like he was not thrilled with what she just asked for, because he believed that they spent a lot of time with each other, and he was clearly not understanding what she was saying. Then she tried to clarify what she was saying. Quality time means not being on social media, but you and I dealing with each other in a healthy, positive way. She emphasized having positive energy, and that she wanted him to support her by affirming her, because that made her feel good and boosted her self-esteem.
So it seems like from his end, he received it the wrong way from the beginning, and then reacted, I guess, accordingly in a kind of defensive way.
Yes.
And kind of responded based on that.
Absolutely.
Which was kind of like the wrong path to go down.
Right. And then she could not get him back on the same page because he was piggybacking on what she said. And at one point she was saying, tell me what you want from me. Tell me. And he still could not articulate what he wanted.
Yeah, it seems like that first item that she wrote down in terms of more quality time, he kind of processed or took as an attack.
Absolutely, he
And
did.
I'm wondering what was really, attacking about that remark.
And she even told him, well, I know you do good things, but I want more of that.
Right.
More of you saying that I'm beautiful. More of that. Because clearly how Otis has been operating undermines her self-esteem. And she wanted to feel safe and secured. Every woman wants to feel safe, and security is big for a woman.
Yeah, I think what happens is, in terms of the way that they communicate, he does that, but it kind of seems like work that he puts in doing that is undermined by how he responds, or some of the other things that he says maybe behind that, or maybe even on the front side of it, that really kind of tears at her a little bit,
Right.
and tears at the fabric of not only their relationship, but just how they communicate with one another.
Because when they were in Dr. Nicole's office, he said that when Shay and Shorty piped in, they were not being honest. That they just want Charlie to feel good.
Well,
my question is, why you as her man don't want her to feel good? Why other strangers trying to support her in that way was them not being honest?
And I have exactly, that's where I was going with it. What about the way that Shay and or Shorty responded wasn't honest in his mind? Because clearly they would not have chosen to respond the way that they did if they weren't being sincere or genuine about how they felt about what was just presented to them in the way of information.
Right. Otis seems to me, he needs to unpack that ego and really listen to what both Dr. Nicole and Charlie is saying to him, because he clearly has an issue listening to them. His ego hears something else and does not actually hear the words that are coming out of their mouth. And that's a problem.
That clearly may have been the case this time, because it didn't make sense for me in terms of how he responded at all.
Because when they go back to Dr. Nicole's office, Charlie told her that the assignment really failed, and how it failed, they could not get on the same page with what quality time actually meant.
Right. And she also said that they got to make a concerted effort to really try to understand what the other person is saying, or else they're going to continue to fight, right?
Right. And at one point, Charlie was saying that he does not support her, or he doesn't tell her certain things that make her feel good, and that most of the things that he said to her are criticisms. And he came back with he's her biggest fan, that his criticism is supportive. And
it doesn't resonate with him?
Right. It doesn't resonate with him.
Interesting choice of words.
Absolutely. Does not resonate with him. Her needs does not resonate with him.
What does resonate with him?
So Dr. Nicole asks, have you ever asked her what it is that you can do to support her in the way she wants? And he said no.
Yeah, and that's kind of like clueless to me. It's like a clueless response to me. I'm like, why haven't you? Or maybe because if you had, something would resonate with you.
Absolutely. If she likes her eggs one way, and she's asking you to prepare her eggs the way she likes it, and you insist on giving her boiled eggs when she wants scrambled, you're not listening to her. You're not supporting her. She don't want her eggs hard boiled. She wants scrambled, maybe with some cheese, huh?
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
Cheese on it,
onions, a little bit of mushrooms, and everything else, man. But I don't get why he would choose that particular phrase. Doesn't resonate with him.
Doesn't resonate with her.
Yeah.
And then
does he want it to resonate with him?
No, he does not.
Yeah.
Then he goes in his confessional and says, "Oh, maybe." He needs to he should have approached the exercise differently, and what mattered was real to Charlie and not what he believed.
You know what? It's interesting that he would describe it that way, but I think the point that you made about listening, it comes into play, because it takes me back to when he had a meeting with his dad.
Yes.
And his dad was trying to get him to understand, hey, look, man, you need to come at it a little bit differently in terms of an approach with Charlie. I like Charlie, but if she's saying that you're not hearing what she's saying, and she doesn't feel like she's being heard and or listened to, you've got to make the adjustments, not her. You got to make the adjustments.
Well, I just think going forward, Otis is in for a long, hard road. Even if he and Charlie don't stay together, this brother gotta know that he gotta switch that up and take out the wax, unpack the ego, and to be able to hear what a woman is asking for. A woman is not gonna be there for a man who does not support her, who consistently insults and demeans her, and think that's a good look.
I just think
he's gonna come home one day and everything will be gone.
I just think that he has to get outside of himself to realize that if this person is truly who I say she is to me, then I have to show it. In some critical ways, as it relates to the way that they communicate, it's not being done.
It's Otis' way or the highway.
Right, exactly.
They're exhausting to watch.
I wish them well, but I don't see them kind of making it together. Well, just my sense.
We want to thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and please press that like button, and we'll see you in the next bit.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.